No, 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 no. Wait, 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 wait. Wait, 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 wait.
Welcome back to the channel, or if you are new here, welcome. I am excited today to talk about a film that I've been waiting to watch for a while now, but I've been putting it off, and I finally got to see it. This is Gonjiam, Haunted Asylum. Hope I pronounced that right. I've been saying like Gonjiam, I've been saying like Gonjiam. I don't know how it's pronounced, but I'm just gonna go with Gonjiam, Haunted Asylum. This film is a found footage horror film that is from Korea and is about six friends who are paranormal investigators on YouTube, and they're here to investigate a haunted asylum where two kids went missing and crazy shit happens. Speaking of special friends, I have Jacob Cameron on, a good friend of mine. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing very well. This was my first time watching this, and I mean, I had, like I said, like you said, I'd heard nothing but just amazing things about this, and like just saying this is like one of the all-timers in terms of found footage. I'm like, okay, I'll see about this because I've seen Poughkeepsie tapes, I've seen Lake Mungo. I've been genuinely terrified by found footage films, so that was going to be a bit of a hard task to attain. But while I can safely say this movie didn't chill me like Poughkeepsie tapes and Lake Mungo did, there are a couple parts in here where I just felt like I had to take a walk. Like I feel like I had to just like be like, pause. I need a minute. Like I just need to get away from this right now. Like the movie's a bit like it's a two-haver. The first half is build up and it's like, okay, we're getting to know these people, okay. And then as soon as they go live on that stream, oh boy, they're pretty much done. Like it's pretty much done.
I knew that I would probably enjoy this to some degree because found footage is one of my favorite subgenres of horror. I'm really a big fan of it. Those also chilled me to the bone, Poughkeepsie tapes and Lake Mungo. And I'm also a huge fan of Korean horror. So I knew that that was going to be a big thing for me going into this because I don't think I've ever disliked a Korean horror film that I've seen so far. And I heard all the praise on like TikTok and such. There was a bunch of TikTok. This movie became popular because of TikTok. I have been I had it on my radar for a while. And when I checked it out, I agree. There is some stuff in here that while it didn't leave me completely unsettled like those other films you mentioned, this still, I was so grateful I watched it on Tubi because Tubi has ads. So like, yes. so I could have like the 3 minutes to catch a break and be like, "Whew, okay, good. Oh, I can have a break here. I can, walk around, do something." That was nice because there was some intense stuff here. We'll probably get into spoilers, guys. It's been out since 2018. Y'all can check it out if y'all want to, and then come back here and watch this video. So y'all have been warned. I was invested in this movie from the get-go because of the way they built these characters up and just the kind of development they were giving. And especially Charlotte, she's my girl. I liked her. A bunch of the other characters I really liked. You care about these people already going in. And then once they hit live, then all hell breaks loose. And that's the thing with some found footage movies is there are some where it takes such a long time to get going.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I just recently watched Evil Things for the first time, which is another found footage movie. I've never seen it. It was an hour, 16 minutes. I was like, oh, I got this. The actual, like, horror of an hour and 16-minute movie didn't show up until about 45 to 50 minutes in. And so you're just like, oh my gosh, you're just treading along with these characters. But this, it has a kinetic energy that just like keeps you in it. And then once you get into the asylum, then you're just doesn't let up at all.
One of my favorite parts of this movie is the opening, where it sets the mood for what it's going for from the get-go, where you have the main host kind of producing, doing this big long introduction of, in 1940, giving you all the lore that you need to know about this asylum. And it's done in a way that feels like you're watching a YouTube series. It's a dude in a black background, black turtleneck, and there's some editing, touching up and done of it. It was convincing to me. The only thing that was missing was but before we get into it, we need to thank our sponsor, like HelloFresh or something like that. Like a YouTube sponsor, like AG1 or NordVPN or something. I don't know. Maybe I just watch too much YouTube. That is a big possibility. That intro is great, and then it leads into our main characters, which I am with you. I did genuinely enjoy. And I like how kind of fleshed out they are in that they have rapport with each other. Like there's one that does his business on the side of the road because they're going to this asylum, and there's not a bathroom anywhere, and they're just roasting him the whole time. It was what is he doing over there? And it's I just found that part funny. But then it's it shows that they're pros. So the movie communicates a lot in a short amount of time. The movie's just about 90 minutes long, and it's very efficient in how it does intro, character intro, rapport, and then straight into it. What you were talking about with evil things, it's not come on, when's it going to get here? You like the people and you want them to make it out. They don't, but you want them to make it out.
This was one of the most technically interesting kind of found footage movies because of what you were talking about with the GoPros, and then they would use the cameras inside. They would place cameras inside in weird, sneaky spots inside the asylum. Even the ghosts themselves were controlling some of the cameras and everything and the technology. So I thought that was pretty interesting way to take found footage, and there was an interest, and they just formatted things really interestingly. I also liked kind of what he was saying about how far you'll go for success, because the moment I would have seen that a person's arm go inside of a black hole that they don't know what's on the other end, and then they get fucking scraped all, cut all on the arm. The moment that happened, I would have been out of there. Straight up. I agree with the girls. I would have been out of there. I would not have stayed and said, "Oh, look at how much money we can get from this." And
this is God saying you need to leave now, and sadly they do not.
Yeah.
I don't know, this movie kind of reminded me a lot of this, and this is a horror comedy, so please take it with a grain of salt, but it reminded me of this movie called Deadstream, where it follows a live streamer who, I won't go too deep into it, but basically he's canceled for various reasons. And in a last-ditch effort of relevancy, he does a live stream where he explores a haunted house. And, well, it is very haunted and everything attacks him. It's like Evil Dead, but with, a live stream camera. And that's, that's the best that I can describe it. This movie's very serious, but it kind of reminded me a lot of ways of that, weirdly enough, in that these people are so convinced of their skills that they're just going to be oh, this will be a breeze. Alas, it is not. So I don't know if that's a weird connection to make, but it's the connection that I made.
And I think that's a really good connection to make. I also wanted to point out the production design of this movie. I actually looked it up and did research, and Gonjiam is actually a real place in a real asylum that you can actually go to, and does have a history behind it. I had no idea this is a real place. I don't know if all the history is what's in this movie, but it's just kind of creepy now knowing it's a real place. But the way that they set up certain furniture, the way they have certain things laid out, all looked really eerie and creepy and really well done. And some of the stuff that they do with their sets, there's a scene where all the furniture is on the ceiling, and it just falls from the ceiling. And that's just really impressive stuff there, for sure.
And then there's just a general eerie like atmosphere all throughout. Like as soon as you walk in, you're just like, guys, it's not too late to turn back. Like there's a reason why they closed this place. It kind of reminded me, the ambiance kind of reminded me of another movie. It's not found footage, but it's horror. It's called Session 9. It's about this cleanup crew who is cleaning up asbestos and various other things, but basically they go insane. And I won't spoil it here, but it's very, it's the movie very much, Gonjiam very much reminded me a little bit of Session 9. Two different movies in terms of content, but in terms of the atmosphere, I guess they both take place in asylums, so I made that connection as well.
Well, that's a really good connection. And throughout, I was thinking to myself, man, this would be a great haunt. It kind of reminded me a little bit of As Above, So Below, because like when they're in that tunnel and you're seeing all the creepy stuff come out, I was watching As Above, So Below, and I was like, man, this would be a really fun haunt to go through, like on Halloween and such. And
do like a Halloween Horror Nights style house. You like come on into the haunted asylum, and is like something like that.
Oh yeah, and it's just that would be utterly terrifying. I do also love the kind of culture dynamic here that like most of these found footage movies that we have watched are American. There's a few international ones, like my all-time favorite, which is Wreck, and a few other ones that are international. So it's always great whenever you can get an international one, and you just get like really great kind of culture narratives there. And then on top of all that, one thing I love about found footage as a genre is how natural it all feels. That is one thing I've always loved, is the acting always feels natural and the writing feels natural, the way characters talk. There's none of this is sugar coated or faked where you're just like, the character would never say that or a person would never act that way. All the acting feels very real and all the dialogue feels very real. And I really respected that about this movie as well.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, especially near the end where like everything has gone down and then like probably the thing that everyone knows from this movie happens. You're like this actor just has the look of, yeah, I'm pretty much screwed. Like he just has like the I'm screwed face. There's nothing I can do, rather sadly.
Yeah, and talking about the thing that people know from this movie, that shot behind me, one of to me the scariest part of this movie, and the scares all work really well, and that's what you really want in a found footage movie, is to be scared, because it's supposed to immerse you and make you feel like you're watching something that is found footage, like something you're not supposed to be seeing. And I really felt that, especially in the woods scene, when they are in the woods, you think they're getting out, and then they are going around in circles, and they got like the mark underwear that they had to mark their trail, and it's just repeating for them, and they're saying, wait, we just passed that. And then all of a sudden the girl gets black eyes and starts doing a K-pop rap or something like that, K-pop song.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, oh my God, what's going on? And then the girl runs into the tent to find herself in room 402, which they explain in this, that room 402 is where the director did all of his like tortures and all of his other awful stuff that he did in the asylum. And so once you get into room 402, you basically never leave, is what they say. And so she's in room 402, and you get that like person just standing there like this. And I had my blankets like that over my face, because I just was like, oh God, what's coming?
There's something about like what I'm gonna call the Blair Witch shot, where it's like someone standing in the corner looking down like this. Like, okay, this is immediately not good. You need to be turning around now. And then to your point about the underwear, like I remember like thinking about that part when that happened. I'm like, okay, a little bit of that's some kind of humor, but okay. But I didn't think about that. And then when it was like, wait, we just passed this, right? And then I'm like, oh no, it's already starting. So there's no like clear signal of like, oh, it's like they're already starting to lose it. You don't know until it happens. That's why I love this movie so much. Is like there's no real telegraph. Like you just get this weird feeling, and it's like, man, this is gonna suck when this goes south, not knowing that it's already gone south and it's already too late. So there's like the dread element to this movie that I think is rather underrated and underappreciated.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was listening to a friend of mine who I follow on YouTube talk about this movie, and he is one of the few people who actually didn't like it and said that he thought that it was basically a Grave Encounters ripoff. Like it's just
Mm,
that just feels like it's not really original or unique. And while yes, there is some stuff that we have seen in here before, this is not something that's going to reinvent the wheel of found footage. There is some stuff in here we have seen. We have seen stuff where you know furniture is up in the ceiling and then drops. That's like in Paranormal Activity 2, and we've seen other stuff like that before. Some of the uses of scares that they have in here, we've seen them before. So yeah, it may not be original, but that doesn't make it any less impactful.
I mean, and Grave Encounters, and I don't want to go too deep into that one because I mean that's not what we're talking about here. But
Yeah.
Grave Encounters is quite good, but it's kind of different in that it was kind of meant to spoof like the Ghost Encounters or like the Zach Bagley like subgenre of alleged haunting TV shows that he got on Travel Channel and Discovery Channel and like those kind of things. That was kind of made for like a specific purpose. So I can see the connection definitely. I mean, one is definitely is a horror TV show, aka in the late 2000s, like Zach Bagley. This in Gonjiam is like one of those horror YouTubers or like kind of like BuzzFeed Unsolved for lack of a better example. So they're kind of in a way spoofing on media of the era to if I can sound any more pretentious than that. So, but I think Grave Encounters was pretty creepy. I would prefer like in terms of scares, this one is scarier. Though Grave Encounters is still good. I'm not going to dunk on that too hard.
Oh, yeah. No, they're both really great found footage horror movies. If you guys are looking for your found footage fun this Halloween season, and this is the perfect kind of movie to watch this October for Halloween. If you want all those scares, you want all those frights, and it's nothing that this is a kind of horror movie like almost similar to something like Wreck, where when I watched Wreck, that's one of the scariest movies that I've ever seen. But it was one of those where it was scary as I was watching it. Once I went to bed and was able to sleep, I wasn't like haunted for days thinking about it, that kind of thing. And that's kind of like how this is too. It's like when you're watching it, you are horrified and you are terrified of it. But then, eventually the scares wear off as you go along with the rest of your days. This isn't something like that will mentally fuck with your brain or something like some like
Yeah.
Poughkeepsie tapes or something like that, or some other kinds of movies in this genre, like even Blair Witch or something like that. But this is still really really good found footage. One of the best in in that kind of genre of film, in my opinion. So, yeah. Do you have any other kind of final thoughts?
One thing that I will say though is that to your point, like the mark of a good found footage movie for me is like you said, how long it stays with me. Like the
Yeah.
original Blair Witch, I mean, is a classic, but I could always get through that just fine. I've seen it multiple times, seen Book of Shadows, unfortunately, and the 2016 Blair Witch one, and that one was just okay. Like Poughkeepsie Tapes was genuinely terrifying, and that stood with me. Same thing with Lake Mungo. And Gonjiam, I would put up in that class of like it sits there and it like stays there. Like there's nothing tongue in cheek about this. It's like these people go in to film for their YouTube channel and they immediately regret it. Like there's nothing like glamorous about that. It's just like these people they're not going to make it out of this. And so yeah, definitely one of the best in the subgenre for sure.
One of the best in this subgenre, but also one of the best Korean horror movies, period, that I have seen in a while. And there's a lot of great Korean horror. That's another deep dive for another day. But this is definitely one of the best in that kind of category.
Yeah.
So, yeah, guys, what did y'all think of Gonjiam, however y'all say it, Haunted Asylum? What did y'all think of this movie, guys? Let me know down in the comments below. And also be sure to like this video, subscribe, and share for a bunch more Oktoberfest reviews that I'll be doing, where I'm just covering a bunch of horror movies on the channel month long, guys. So make sure you're subscribed and ring that notification bell so you do not miss a video. We will see you all in the next one. Until then, stay spooky, my friends. Keep on recording everything.